What's going on, guys? MJ300 here, and welcome to a brand new episode of our Arsenal Road to Glory series. So we are up to January here in season number 4, and what a season it has been so far for Arsenal. You can see here that we are currently top of the table after 24 games in the Premier League, 10 points clear of City and further ahead of Liverpool, Chelsea and United. And a quick recap of last time out, we were successful in the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup against Manchester City over 2 legs, winning 6-1 on aggregate. So we are into the final of the Carabao Cup. We are also into the last 16 of the FA Cup, and we're also into the knockout stages of the Champions League, and it looks like we have been drawn against Villarreal, so we'll have that coming up very shortly. We're going to finish off January here, one more game in January, and then like I said, knockout stages of the Champions League. Looks like we've got United in the final of the Carabao Cup, so we'll be playing that. We'll also be playing that game there against Chelsea, trying to get through into March here. We've got a few more Premier League games there, and obviously the return leg against Villarreal. So obviously with it being January, we are in the January transfer window, and therefore we could look to add players to this squad, but as I mentioned last time, I just don't really know where we look to improve. That's our squad there, which is 87 is the minimum. Everyone else is even higher than that, and the same on the second 11. Again, the minimum is 87, although it's half 87s, half 88s. Apart from Perrin, who's an 84, so I mean, we could maybe a better backup goalkeeper, but are we doing that just for the sake of it? Leno's an 89. He's playing the majority of the games anyway, so I think I'm pretty happy with the squad. If we get any big offers for any of our existing players in the next few days, then maybe we can look to accept those and replace them. But other than that, the team we have, I'm more than happy to run with until the end of the season. But let's get straight into this video now, and first up is a Premier League game against West Brom. So last time I recall, they were down at the bottom of the table. I presume that's still the case, and it is. They have though managed to win a game and draw a game since then though, so they have 4 points, but after 24 games, it's almost certain they'll be going back down. So top against bottom, with top being at home. Surely there's only one outcome to this game, and it is. It's a 2-0 win to Arsenal. Pepe and Neves both on the score sheet. Okay, so we've had an offer in here for a player, but it's come from Spurs. To be honest, I don't even really know what they're doing trying to buy one of our players. We're never going to accept that. So Klosterman is a player that I would maybe be willing to let go if we could find a suitable replacement, but definitely not to Spurs. We're not going to be improving any of our rivals. So here we are now at transfer deadline day. We'll simulate through the next few hours. Like I say, don't expect to do any business, but obviously if we get any big offers, I'll show them to you guys and we'll consider them. But other than that, I will just simulate through and then I'll show you the top deals for the rest of the transfer window. Similar to that one in the bottom corner there of Kante going to Dortmund. Okay, so we've had an offer here for Demiral from Juventus, which is obviously where we bought him from originally. £39.2 million. I mean, it's only just above his value. I appreciate he's not getting that many games anymore, but I'm going to reject that because I don't think the deal is good enough, and it's always good to have strength and depth just in case anyone gets injured. Okay, so here we are now, 1 hour left to go. No other offers have come in, so we will be running with this squad now until the end of the season. Just quickly jump into the top deals to show you. Obviously, not always that easy because it does include the summer ones as well, but Kante was the biggest of January, going to Dortmund for £68 million. Obviously, great player, but now the wrong side of 30. So it's probably not too bad business for Chelsea, being able to get £68 million for him. A couple more deals here. Hernandez has gone to Leipzig for 63.5, and Ikone's gone to United for 62.5. Lindelof somehow has gone for 53 million to Borussia Mönchengladbach. Chelsea have strengthened. They've got Fekir for 52.6, and Anthony Martial has gone to Napoli for 52.3. So I'll just quickly go through the Premier League teams here to see if we've had any other big deals. Obviously, we saw that one for Kone. They've also added Pacquiao, have United. City haven't added anyone, which is good because they're our closest rivals at the moment. Liverpool, they've spent big. They've brought in Cahir and Pellegrini. I think he's a young guy from Roma, so they've spent £80 million on those two. Chelsea, obviously, we saw they brought in Fekir. They've also added Daley Blind, but their outgoings were quite big. In addition to Kante, Van Ginkel, Upamecano, and Bernardo have all left. And that's it. In the Premier League, there's nothing else really substantial going on. It says, oh, actually, I've just realised that because I'm looking at numbers. Tillemans has left Leicester for nothing. So I don't know if he's gone on loan or if someone signed him on a pre-contract agreement or something like that, but that's obviously a big loss for them. But other than that, no other big deals. We're going to simulate through now, get into February and start with our next game, which I think is against Chelsea. Okay, and yes it was. Our next game is against Chelsea. You can see there they are in 4th position, just above Man United, holding on to that final Champions League spot. So even though they're a long way behind us, they will be fighting to get Champions League football. Not going to be an easy game. So this is the team we're going to go with. Obviously, they've made those signings in January, so they're going be a bit stronger. We'll look at their team in just a second, but get into this and see if we can get another 3 points. Okay, so a quick look at the Chelsea team here, and it looks like there is no debut for Nabil Fekir, but there is a debut for Daley Blind, who's actually taken the captain's band straight away. He goes in the middle with Bentancur and Kovacic. Other than that, it's the same Chelsea team we've seen since earlier on in the seeding. Alkeita leading the line, Kepa still in goal, Pulisic, Hudson-Odoi. So, not a bad team. I think our team's better. Let's get ourselves a win. Here's Brandt. He's gone into Mbappe. He's gone 1-2 now with Brandt and Mbappe. Can he finish? Oh, good save, Kepa. Zappacosta now. He's tried to slip in Hudson-Odoi. Out wide to Kimpembe. Cross has come in. There's so much space on the edge for Bentancur. What a finish from Bentancur. And Chelsea on the counter-attack against Arsenal. They lead after 20 minutes. Thought we dealt with the danger quite well there. But Bentancur picked it up, and what a finish. One touch. And then in off the bar. It's 1-0 Chelsea. Here's Mbappe. Let's look to find Gnabry out wide. Can Gnabry now find Brandt in the middle? He can. Oh, it's off the post. And surely. Oh, and it's off the line. Here's Brandt now. He's found Mbappe. Oh, Kepa again. Here's Neves now. He'll go inside to Brandt. He'll look for find Mbappe. And Mbappe. Oh, and he's dragged it wide. I'm already getting the feeling it's going to be one of his days. Chance after chance. It's either saved by Kepa or it's off target. Here's Kovacic now. Hudson-Odoi. Oh, take that. Kieran Tierney, great challenge. Gnabry. It's gone into Mbappe. It's gone to Brandt. And one more now. Kieran Tierney. Can he find his man? And Brandt's arriving late. And Brandt. Oh, and it's blocked. He's kept it alive. And here is Neves. Kepa tips it wide. Oh, but ref, you can't blow the whistle there. We're on the edge of the area. But the half-time whistle's gone and Chelsea go into the break with a 1-0 lead. It's just been typical sort of EA half there. Chelsea have one chance and they score with an absolute worldie. None of our shots have been able to beat the keeper so far. If they have, it's because they're off target. And we're just going to have to be a little bit better in the second half if we want to avoid defeat here today. Space has opened up. He'll look for Pepe. Oh no, he's gone for Brandt. Brandt shoots. Oh, once again. Kepa with about his 5th or 6th save of the day. Corner from Pepe. And it's gone through everyone and Brandt's there. And of course, in the way once again is Kepa. Here is Brandt now. He's found Mbappe. And Mbappe, can he finish this time? No. Again, it's into the hands of Kepa. Jovic into Neves. Into Saka. And Jovic! Oh, Kepa. And that's it. That's the full-time whistle. Again, Arsenal disappointing in the big games of the Premier League. Obviously, we lost our last big one to United. Lose here to Chelsea today. That felt honestly like I was playing a different level of opponent today. Their tackles were perfect every time. And when we did get through, everything was just saved by Kepa. I mean, even that chance by Jovic at the end, 9 times out of 10, that goes in for us. But today, it just wasn't our day. And the only chance Chelsea have, really, and it's a worldie from Bentancur, the difference between the two teams today. Now, if you wanted proof there of how dominant we were, 11 shots, 6 on target to Chelsea's 1 on target. But there's only one stat that matters, and that is the result. So we're going to put that disappointment behind us very quickly now. The knockout stages of the Champions League are here. And as we saw at the start of the video, we have a tie against Villarreal. So we're away in the first leg here. We're going to simulate through as we always do. And hopefully we can get ourselves into a good position to come back to the Emirates. And we do. We win 2-1. Neves and Bellerin with the goals. Gosson scores for them. Kimpembe does get injured, but a lead and 2 vital away goals for the second leg. So Kimpembe is going to be out for 2 weeks, so nothing too serious, which is good. We can just rotate it around as needed. So next up here, we have an away tie against Wolves. You can see our gap at the top of the table has been reduced to 7 points after that defeat. So really important that we bounce back here with a win. And we do. We win 3-0. Trincao, Maddison and Pepe all with the goals here. And another clean sheet. Back to winning ways in the Premier League. Okay, so here we go. It's time for the Carabao Cup final now. And as we saw, we are up against Manchester United. So we need to get some revenge against them. We obviously lost in the Premier League last time out. And like I mentioned at the time, they've been a bit of a bogey team for us. I think they've defeated us more times than any other teams in this Road to Glory series trophies so far. So hopefully we can get ourselves a win here, pick up our first major trophy of the season, and obviously leg 1 of that elusive quadruple that we're going for this year. Okay, so this is the team we're going to go with. We're going to go with Perrin in goal, Diaz and Demirel in centre-back, Gaia and Klosterman as the fullbacks, Torreira and Willock in the middle, Nelson, Smith Rowe, Trincao and Jovic up top. So giving some of our youngsters some minutes here. Obviously a very strong bench if needs be, but let's jump into this now and lift that trophy. So here we go, Wembley Stadium now, seeing the two teams lead them out. Looking at the players there that are going past, looks like United are going with a very strong team. Just a quick reminder of how we got to the final there against Swansea, Newcastle City. United, they got past Stoke, Brighton and then Liverpool. It's going to be a good game here. Two of the most successful teams in England going head to head here to see who can claim the trophy. Trincao has gone into Jovic. He's been fouled there, but the referee's played good advantage. Smith Rowe. What a start for Arsenal after just 3 minutes. And it's Trincao, Jovic and Smith Rowe that combine. And the young Arsenal man, with a moment he's dreamed of probably all his life, a goal in a cup final at Wembley. Really good advantage from the ref there that played on when Jovic was fouled. And in the last game we couldn't score. This time it only took us our first shot, 1-0. And Trincao's nipped in here. Got ahead of Wan-Bissaka, who's left room, and there's so much space for him to exploit. Just needs to pick the right pass here. It's gone to the edge, and it's Smith Rowe again. Oh, and he's hit it straight into Gea. And United giving it away, and Trincao tries to capitalise, but it's blocked, and it's another corner. And it comes in, and Klosterman. Athletic attempt. Smith Rowe. It's gone into Jovic here. I look to hit one. Oh. Trincao here into Jovic. He's found Smith Rowe. It's the same combination for the first goal, but this time we can't find the target. Arsenal running riot. They need to take these chances here. Trincao again. It's gone into Willock and Jovic and Smith Rowe. Oh, and he's scuffed it wide. That was even better than the last effort or last chance. Look at it. How does he miss from here? Just hit the target. Torreira's done really well here, winning it high up the pitch. And look to find a cross. Smith Rowe's there. Oh. This kid could have had 4 or 5 goals in this first half. Really good work. Just couldn't quite get his toe on it to direct it goalwards. And that is the half-time whistle. Arsenal go in at the break with just a 1-goal advantage. We were absolutely dominant in that first 20 minutes. Could have had 3 or 4. Harry Kane been very quiet for United so far, but they started to come back into it a little bit towards the end of that first half. A few chances down our wings, but we stood tall, defended the cross as well. 45 minutes to go, but I really feel we need to get that second goal. It's gone out wide to Nelson. Nelson looking for options. There's Trincao there. Oh, first time hit on his weaker foot. Nelson's got away from his man here. He's found Smith Rowe. He's found Jovic. Oh, and the shot's blocked. 25 minutes to go here. Kid's had a good game, Smith Rowe, but he's very tired, so he's going to come off here for Maddison. And Martinelli's also coming on for Trincao. Willock. It's gone inside to Jovic. Good first touch. Oh, got the shot away, but De Gea was equal to it. Here is Rashford now. It's up against Diaz. The last chance here for United now. Clock is ticking down. The ref won't blow the whistle for them while they're on the edge, or will he? He does. United took too long to get the ball in the middle. And that early goal from Emile Smith Rowe, the difference. Arsenal definitely weren't very good in that second half. We couldn't get that second goal, but it doesn't matter, because United were unable to break through our defence. And that famous 1-0 to the Arsenal is enough here for Arsenal to lift the Carabao Cup. And today's captain, Lucas Torreira, who was an absolute rock in the middle of the park, played really well, will be lifting the trophy here today for Arsenal. Defending champions, of course. We won the title last year, so this will be the second in 2 years that we are lifting this title and retaining it. And there it is. Step 1 of our quadruple in the bag. The players will celebrate tonight, but by tomorrow it'll be back to business, because that is our target for the season, the quadruple. We haven't had it yet. We've had a couple of trebles, but no quadruple. Leg 1 is done, and we now move on So from one cup competition to another now, we are up against Brentford in the last 16 of the FA Cup. This is the team we're going to go with for this game here. So a bit stronger than the last final. Obviously the youngsters had some minutes, so now going to give it to more of our main squad players. Would very much expect us to get it done against lower league opposition. We do, we win 2-0. Martinelli and Saka score, and we are through to the next round of the FA Cup. We're back in the Premier League now, and we are up against Newcastle here. So you can see the gap is 5 points at the moment, but we do have a game in hand, so a chance to extend that lead now up to 8 points with a home tie against Newcastle. So jumping into this here, back to our first 11. Can we get ourselves another win? We can. We win 4-1. Tierney, Gnabry, Brandt, Mbappe all score for Arsenal. Almeida with a consolation for Newcastle in that 90th minute, and another 3 points, and now 8 points clear. So next up here is the return leg in the Champions League against Villarreal. Remember, we have a 2-1 advantage from the first leg, so hopefully we can turn that into victory here and take us through to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. And we can. We win in emphatic fashion. Mbappe grabs himself a brace. Brandt and Gnabry also join him on the score sheet, and a 4-0 win. We are through to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. So here we now are now quarter-final action here in the FA Cup. Obviously that means now we will be playing the game. We have a home tie here against Brighton. So flicking over to the second 11 here, and that's the team we're going to be going with. So jumping straight into this, hopefully we can do a bit more than the boring Arsenal you've seen in games so far. 2 1-0 games. Let's see if we can win, and maybe win in a little bit more of emphatic fashion. Here's Trincao here going on a run early. He's got past his man. Can Trincao finish? Oh, that's a good save. Oh, Blondo, our rookie keeper, is in for Brighton today, and he's just denied Trincao in the opening minutes here. Out wide to Gaia, and Maddison's in the middle. What is that? Is he offside? He's not offside. I don't know what's happened with that header there. Trincao has gone into Martinelli here. He's set away Trincao. He'll look for Maddison in the middle. It's a good first touch. The angle's closing though. Should have cut it back. Barella was on the penalty spot. Trincao. He's gone into Martinelli. He's gone into Maddison. Make a run. Make a smarter run. No one's making any good runs. Barella into Martinelli. He'll look to turn. And Martinelli scores. Fires it low and hard. And Arsenal finally have the breakthrough right on the stroke of half time. Martinelli first found himself in a really good position, but no one was making a good run. So he cycled it to Maddison and then took it on himself. Really good early finish. 1-0 Arsenal. There goes the halftime whistle. It was literally the last action of that first half. And again, this is just one of these days, I think, where I'm just not going to play that well. Sometimes you have them on FIFA. It is what it is. But we're going to just try and grind out the results. We are 1-0 up going into this second half. And at least we've been pretty solid defensively so far. But it'd be really nice to get a couple more goals in this next 45 minutes. Arsenal clear, and Brighton have committed a lot of men forward. What can we do with this now? He's gone through the middle. Maddison, has he got the legs? He does. Surely he's going to finish it. Oh, of course he will. And Arsenal, on the hour mark, double their lead. Brighton had committed a lot of bodies forward there. And that's when we are the most destructive, when there is space in behind. James Maddison kept his composure and drilled it past the keeper for 2-0. It's Torreira now, looking to drive. It's gone into Martinelli. He'll look out wide for Trincao. He'll cut inside. He'll look to Ben One. What a finish from Francisco Trincao. Finds himself on the score sheet, and Arsenal are now starting to run away with this game. It's 3-0. That's a really good finish. Last 15 minutes, few changes to be made here. Trincao, Barella, Maddison all going off. Pepe, Willock, Smith Rowe all coming on. Here's Moy now. He's gone out wide to Trossard. Arriving Bissouma. And Gaia can't get there. And Andon is ahead of Ake. And Brighton get themselves 1 goal back. It's probably going to be too late here, but 10 minutes to go. 3-1 now the advantage. And there it is. It was just a consolation. No further chances for either side. And Arsenal win 3-1, and they are through to the semi-finals of the FA Cup. We edge ever closer to another one of those legs in the quadruple that we are pursuing this year. Not our best performance once again sloppy at times with our passing. Luckily, our finishing was a little better today. So here we are now back in Premier League action here. And Liverpool have won their game in hand already. They've already played. So it's down to 5 points. It's vital that we maintain that 8-point gap with a win here away to Norwich. And we do, and rather emphatic, with a 5-0 win. Brandt and Gnabry each with braces, and then Jovic comes off the bench to get one as well. And just to add insult to injury, Idar also misses a penalty for Norwich. 5-0 to Arsenal. Okay, some bad news here, and the players are away on international duty at the moment, and it appears that Martinelli has picked up an injury while representing Brazil. He's done his ligaments and he's going to be out for 2 months, which is basically till the end of the season. So a big loss for us and for Arsenal. We're going to have to make do now. We obviously have Jovic who can come in up top as a replacement to him, but he's had a really good season for us and will definitely be a big miss between now and the end of the season. Okay, so here we go. One final game to round out March, and we are away against Manchester United. So you can see there in the bottom that Manchester United have fallen out of the Champions League spots. They are now 4 points behind Chelsea, so they're really going to want to win here. We obviously want to continue to extend our lead at the top of the table. We've got a chance here to go 9 points clear with only 8 games remaining, and also we want to get revenge because they did inflict our first defeat on us earlier on in the season, as you will recall. So yeah, we have only lost 2 games, which was against both United and Chelsea. So we're going to look to get revenge here. Like I said, last game of March, so it will be good to end the video on a high as well with a win. Going to go back to our first 11 team there. Let's get into this now. Visit to Old Trafford to end the video. Let's get ourselves another 3 points. So just a very quick look at the United team we're going up against today, and it's a strong one. De Gea in goal, Tagliafico, Maguire, Fernandes and Lina at the back. McTominay, Fernandes in the middle of the park, Rashford, Thiago and Odegaard all in behind Harry Kane. So here we are now, Old Trafford. Let's get a win. Here is Brandt now, looking for the run outside of Pepe. And Pepe, is he in behind the men here? What's he going to do? Cuts it back. Mbappe! What a start for Arsenal! Mbappe's just run into Brandt. Possibly a broken nose in the celebration, but it doesn't matter. Pepe looked like the chance might have gone there, but he found Mbappe and he used Maguire as a shield perfectly into the bottom corner. His 18th of the season. 1-0 Arsenal. Neves has gone into Mbappe. Looks to return it to Neves. Gets in and switches to Gnabry. Gnabry looks to cut inside. He's found Neves. What football from Arsenal. They've cut through United again. And they're clinical with the finish again. And after only 20 minutes, we are 2-0 ahead. Ceballos has done really well to win it high up the pitch here. Pepe, you've gone into Mbappe. He's gone back to Pepe. Can he stand it up at the back post? Brandt's there. Oh, and he should have hit it first time. The touch gave De Gea a chance to get across. And he did really well. And it's fallen to Ceballos. Hits it again. And Mbappe! Oh, he's hit the bar. So close to the third for Arsenal. Here's Thiago now. Up against Tierney. He's got himself a yard. Good cross. Kimpembe only as far as Rashford and Fernandes. And United are back in it. And is this deja vu of the first time we played them? Dominant. 2-0 up. Fernandes scoring with United's first shot on goal. Oh, we really need to avoid this. I do not want the same thing happening. Tierney got caught out. Not enough distance on the head. And United's first effort. They're back in it 2-1. Here's Gnabry now. He's found himself in the area. Can he cut it back to Brandt? Oh, he can. But what a save from De Gea. Oh, and he's shown too much to Tagliafico. That is the half-time whistle. Arsenal going at the break with an advantage, but only the 1-goal advantage. And it is exactly like the first round fixture against them in the Premier League. Arsenal off to a flyer. 2-0 advantage. Fernandes pulling one back with United's only shot. We need to be careful in this second half. Gnabry taking it with some space here. He'll cut it back. Kieran Tierney had actually more time than he thought. Could have probably taken a touch. Tried to hit it first time. De Gea wasn't getting anywhere near it, but it went the wrong side of the post. So into Brandt. Into Mbappe. And here's Gnabry. De Gea with the heroics once again. Ceballos here. Can he hit it? Oh, don't quite know what's happened there. He's gone absolutely flying. Oh, here's Kane now. He's gone out wide to Tagliafico. What a cross that is. Oh, just over hit. Here's Barella now. He's gone into Mbappe. into Pepe. He's turned his man here now, Pepe. I want to get back on that left foot. He does. Can he bend it? What a finish from Pepe. And he has settled the game here now. Only 5 minutes to go and Arsenal regain their 2-goal advantage. The defender surely has to do better there. You cannot let Pepe in on that left foot. Once he does, there's only one thing in his mind, and what a finish past De Gea, who's been good today, but couldn't get a hand on that one. And it's 3-1 Arsenal. Here's Maddison now. It's gone into Mbappe. There's the run here of Neves. Good save, De Gea. But that is it. That is the full-time whistle. And Arsenal hold on for a really big win here. As we go into the final stretch of the Premier League, we now are 9 points clear, getting revenge on United for that earlier defeat in the season. It was a little bit nervy at times. Again, not quite our fluid best, but clinical when we needed to be. You can see there we had a lot of shots. United, only the one effort. We should have always won this game, and we did. De Gea was the only one stopping it from being more convincing. Okay, so here we are now. We have finished March. We're into April, and that seems like a perfect time to leave this video there. We only have 8 games to go in the Premier League now, and we are 10 points clear, actually, at the top of the table. So it's looking really, really promising for Arsenal to retain that trophy. And we're into the semi-finals of the FA Cup, and the draw's taken place, and we now have a tie against Chelsea. So in the next video, we'll be looking to get a win there and have another trip back to Wembley for another final. The other semi-final is Liverpool-Man United, so the same as the Carabao Cup, if I recall. And in the Champions League there, we have been drawn against Dortmund, so we'll be playing that obviously also in the next video. Other games there, obviously all the big teams are there. Bayern Munich, Man City, Juventus, Barcelona. So a lot of teams still to get past there if we want to retain the Champions League, but it's all looking very good. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please remember to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below. If you've been enjoying this series, please remember to subscribe so you are notified when the next video comes out, which will be very, very soon. And we'll obviously get into those games that I just mentioned there before. But for now, thank you very much for watching, everyone. I will see you all next time.